Hello and welcome back, and today I'm using my brand new camera, so that's why the video quality is probably a lot better. And today I'm going to be talking to you all about the gardening jobs you can do in September. And this series has been going on since April this year, the start of lockdown, and now we're coming up to the tail end of lockdown, or the first lockdown anyway. I'm going to school this week, so that's why I'm trying to batch film enough videos so I don't have to have time set aside to film whilst I'm in school, because it'll be very busy. Just before this video gets started, I'd just like to make sure that you've gone down below, hit the subscribe button as well as the little bell icon to make sure you're notified next time I upload a new video. And for most of us, September can be a less busy month because, for example, I go back to school, a lot of people go back to work after the summer, and we have so much other commitments that we can't really spend as much time in the garden. But September, there's still a wealth of jobs that you can be doing in your garden if you have got time to spend in your garden at home. And I know when I go back to school, I'm still going to be coming in my garden because it's a good switch off from exam and revision and work stress and things like that. But there's also not as many jobs as there was through the rest of the summer, so we can sit back, chill and start planning for next year in the garden. So today I'm going to talk to you all about all of those jobs that you can do in September, so if you have got spare time you can be kept busy. So in September we often have the most varied and abundant harvests, and one of my favourites for this month is actually runner beans, because they're really tasty and you get a lot from them. So I'm just going to put my trug down and I'm going to start picking some of my runner beans. And these harvests are some of my favourites because I know I've got to appreciate them more, because we're going into the hungry gap where there's not as many harvests through winter. And I'd love to know what your favourite harvests are of September and this time of year, so make sure you put them down in the comments down below. And some of these runner beans, I don't know about you, but we often miss them when we're picking, so we get huge ones sometimes. And there's an example of this here, hold on a minute. So I was just saying that I had a really big runner beans that we missed last night, so here they are. I've got some really big ones here, and they're all quite curly and stuff, but that's the joy of growing homegrown food. You don't have perfect veg and loads of waste, because a lot of supermarkets, any wonky veg, not so much anymore, they're starting to change, but they used to just chuck them all out, but now they're starting to make use of them all. So I'm just going through and making sure I've picked all of them now, and you may have also noticed in this video I've had a haircut, and this makes me very happy because my fringe was starting to go in my hair, in my face, and it was starting to get really annoying. So hopefully I'll be able to keep getting haircuts more regularly now, because no matter how much long hair might look a bit better on me, I much prefer having short hair because it doesn't get in my face. And another job that you can do this month to try and get the most out of your garden in winter and for your Christmas crops, as I call them, like the sprouts, then what you can do is what I did yesterday. And I spent the afternoon yesterday, or the morning, I can't remember, outside, and I weeded all around the base of my brassicas. And you can do this with every crop, and it's really important to do this with things like runner beans as well, because keeping the area below clear prevents competition, so that your plants can thrive and you can get big harvests. And it also means that you're not watering and feeding plants that aren't meant to be growing there. So all of this bed was done today, or no, yesterday, this whole side bed here, and it's all looking very neat now. And I've realised that I've got a lot of Swedes starting to swell up, and they're ready for Christmas hopefully, so I'm very excited about that. And this here is a new bed, so I think that might be why the plants aren't doing so well, because it's homemade compost that I put in there, and my homemade compost this time wasn't the best. To be honest, it was more soil, I think, than anything else. And I've also got multi-sown beetroots in here, which aren't doing as good as other people's beetroots, but they're doing really good compared to mine, because normally when I do beetroots, I've got old seed, because I forgot to buy new seed this year and last year, so I've got pretty 2 or 3 year old seed, and that's why I don't think it's doing very well. So hopefully next year I'll remember when I go to the garden centre to get some new beetroots or beetroot seeds so that I can get good beetroot harvests. And if it's going to be dry and you've got autumn or winter crops, make sure you water them, because they bulk up before winter in this month and they start putting on a lot of growth before they go dormant. So make sure you keep everything watered, just like my sprouts here and the beetroot, so that you don't end up with a small winter harvest, because we want the most harvest as we possibly can, don't we? So we'll keep watering the sprouts like that whenever it's dry, like the start of this week, but then there's rain coming in on Wednesday, so I probably won't water anything tomorrow because there is rain coming in the day after, so that'll be fine. But all of these will be bulking up and getting bigger before the first frost and all of the cold weather comes in. And whilst they're trying to wind down, make sure you're still watering your runner beans if it's dry again, not if it's raining, because otherwise they'll get too wet. But if it's going to be dry like it is here, keep making sure that they've always got enough water available to them so they can keep producing beans well into autumn and winter. And if you want a continuous crop of salad, you can start sowing in the first week of September. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plant a sowing in here of this, which is some winter imperial lettuce, and I got this free with a gardening magazine, so I'll just, and lettuce seeds, they're quite cheap, so you can just sow as many as you want in each module. And what I'm just going to put a little sprinkling in each module and then cover with compost, and then that should give me a good harvest, and these will start popping up very soon. And I've already got some salad bowl lettuce, cut and come again, which is a summer cropping variety, already planted as seedlings in a bed, so I hope that they grow, but I'm not sure. I haven't got high hopes because it's going to start getting cold in the next month, ready for autumn. So they might work, they might not, but oh well, it's just a few seeds at the end of the day. And something else that you can do is apply compost where there's gaps in your flower beds and vegetable beds, because now is the time when things are winding down, getting smaller. So if you add a compost mulch onto your beds, then what this will do is feed the soil ready for them to grow big and strong next year. So I recently, there's still some clumps of it, put some compost, homemade compost, onto this flower bed here, and I sieved it and I just chucked it on, and then I put the bits that came out in the sieve, like the bigger bits of compost and stick and stuff, I put them back into the compost bin to keep breaking down, and all of this is well fed now, ready for next year, and so is that flower bed over to that side of the camera. Something I'd like to say is that whilst they are rainier months ahead, you've got to remember to keep watering your greenhouse to make sure your tomatoes all ripen. None of mine have started ripening yet, but there is a big pepper that I'm hoping will start ripening from the bottom up very soon. But as you can see, there is a big vine of tomatoes in there, and it's quite abundant in there at the moment, but I haven't been harvesting yet because nothing's ripening for some reason. But I'm going to keep watering and feeding them even though it's raining, because greenhouses have roofs and you need to remember to keep watering them, otherwise your plants will die. And I'd just like to tell you about some of the other things that you can keep planting now. And you can actually sow another crop of spring cabbage, which should be ready in autumn. You can also plant spinach, and as I said earlier, a load of salad that you can grow, such as winter imperial lettuce. So make sure you try some of these jobs out to keep your garden's productivity going into autumn. So I hope that these tips have helped, and if you did enjoy, please go down below, hit the subscribe button as well as the like button, and comment down below to let me know what you think of the new video quality with my new camera. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.